Good day. I have a good example of a site that's on a shared server that's cheap with GoDaddy, and then some performance metrics. And then I want to show you a cool tool by Google, and as well as a fast site that's on a cloud server with dedicated resources and doesn't have these problems. For instance, we can look at this Briar Creek smilesdentistry.com. Um, and every time I run this, it's going to be different because it's sharing resources with, let's take a look on domain tools. And it looks to me like they're sharing resources with 772 other websites on this one server. And so they're trying to save money, but they're actually killing themselves, shooting themselves in the foot there. And I can show you how. For instance, here, speed index 5.1. Now this is just simple GT metrics. Now if we use Think with Google, and this website covers all the bases. It has all the best practices in place. These are nicely optimized images, even though they're stock. I don't agree with stock photos, but anyway, they're fast loading. But the only thing holding this site back pretty much is the server. And so it's on a GoDaddy server with 772 other websites. So every time you run this test, let's run it again, it's going to, the performance for every single person that lands on that website is going to be dependent on all the other websites and how what they're doing at that moment. And that to me is just, it's not overkill to kill that and to make it so the only website on that server that's using resources is your practice website. $100 a month. Let's get us almost done here. Okay, yeah, see, so it added another 0.3 seconds here to the speed index. It's not too bad. It's got some good things. Best practices are in place, but it's on a slow server. Now, if I look at a page that is 20 times the size of this, Briar Creek Smiles Dentistry, a big, giant, informative page about dental implants with videos and embeds and everything like that, and it's on its own dedicated resources cloud server, then you can see that everything happens within less than 1.3 seconds. And that's just the standard page. I'll give you an idea of how big this page is. It's 4,500 words. It's got all kinds of sections and video and accordions, embeds. It's a skyscraper, it's called. That's what I refer to these kind of pages as. Lots of gallery images loading. Of course, all lazy loading. A form embedded there and everything. Now, you can even speed this up even faster by going with an accelerated mobile pages format, which you can see here, which is everything loaded in less than 0.6 of a second. Or fully loaded in less than a second. So if you just take that away, it's not overkill to just spend the extra money to make sure that your website's fast every single time that someone looks at it, because you don't know the value of each one of those people. But I mean, you can calculate that. We can go back over to Google here, and we can run this page here, Briar Creek Smiles Dentistry. And Google has been tracking page speed for this for a while now, so it's telling us that it's about 3.4 seconds on a 4G. Now, what Google will do with this page speed insights is they'll emulate an old phone on a slow connection, just to give you ways to improve for everybody. Now, I doubt everybody's on a slow phone with a bad connection when they're anywhere near your practice, depending on where you're located. But this one here is measuring at 3.4 seconds. Now, anything over 3 seconds, you're losing half the traffic to the back button. When somebody's looking for a dentist and they've seen your practice link and they're clicking. If it takes more than 3 seconds, then that person's just going to hit back, or half of them will. So you're saving $70, $60, $70 by going with a shared server, or even more than that, maybe $95 if you're going on a $5 server, but you're losing. And I can show you how here a little bit more. If I just jump onto Lorton Springfield here, which has been, the home page is at 2.4 seconds on that slow G emulator 4G. But anyway, it's good. It says it's speeding up. Every quarter it checks. But we can scroll down here, and this is at Think with Google, Test My Site. And let's see. We can do some tests here. I think I've already done that over here. Here we go. So you scroll down and get the Boost My Speed. You can test your page speed, compare yourself against competitors, but then there's this evaluate the ROI of a faster site, which is incredible. Now, I'll just take last month's visits to this website. which was this LortonSpringfield.oralsurgery.com, 3242 visitors. And our average was about 8% for the conversions. Organic is like 13 and ads are like 6. So, I mean, averages out all the traffic ads about 8%. And then I know the value of every single lead because I know how much the practice brings in per month after the ad spend. So I can sort of just plug these numbers in here. And then if it takes 2.4 seconds, now if I increase this speed to half, now let's just assume this is Briar Creek. And I take this to 1.2 seconds. You can see that it's possible to generate an extra $500,000 in a month by simply speeding up your website. Of course, you'd have to have the capacity and everything to do that, but that's the numbers. Those are realistic numbers that he's got for conversions and the revenue he's bringing into his practice. So, and this is using the emulator. So this just gives you an idea. Especially this is really relevant when it comes to like e-commerce sites that are selling stuff online and stuff. But for dentistry, it's very, very similar and still relevant to have a fast website. And when people cut corners and they have that cheap server, it doesn't do you any. You're not saving anything by doing that. I think at the minimum you should have a cloud level server. It doesn't have to be a completely dedicated server, but it should have dedicated resources so that it loads the same and consistently for every single person that comes here, no matter where they come from. And you can do that with the one I recommended. Now I'll post these links so you can check this out yourself. But yeah, that's how important I think it is. Cheers.